Hello, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel. Today I am starting a new vlog, which I feel like I have the worst timing. Like yesterday, my hair was freshly washed, I looked cute. Today it's Saturday, it's the 6th, and this is what I'm working with. I don't even have like a real shirt on. It's what we're doing. I'm having a reading day. But for this vlog, my plan is to do a random spinner wheel of my November TBR. I mentioned in my TBR video that I was just going to be mentioning like 5 books, but that I did have a much longer TBR for the month of closer to 20 books. So this list that I'm going to be randomizing includes everything except audiobooks that I had planned. So this is just physical books. And then it also excludes what I plan to read for Squash That series, because I want to keep that to that weekend of the readathon. So I think there's 10 books on this spinner that I created. If you really want to know everything else that's on my TBR, zoom in on this, I guess. I did start my month with a reread of Queen of Shadows, so that was a long book. Like I said, it's already the, what's the date today? The 6th, and I've only read 1 book, so I wouldn't mind spinning something shorter right now. Okay, I've started my screen recording, so I'm gonna go ahead and spin now. All right, I'm not thrilled about this one. I landed on The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, which is actually right here. This is something I was really excited for. I didn't really like The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, but this was getting a lot of hype. But I have seen more negative reviews of it lately, so I guess this is something. It's a 2021 release. I'm expecting this will probably be on the Goodreads choice, so I'm not mad to get to this. Obviously, I put it on my TBR for this month, but it's not like something I'm thrilled to have just landed on. It's 333 pages, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into my reading chair and start reading this. Okay, it is only like a couple hours later, but I am flying through The Maidens. I'm on page 138 right now, and I am liking it. It is going very fast. It has like the nice short chapters that thrillers often have, and this isn't really told from the perspective I thought it was told from. I've heard this book described, but basically we are on this college campus because a student has gone missing, and she was part of this like small group of girls that met with a specific teacher, and the teacher is being kind of like accused of having something to do with this girl being murdered. And it's just kind of investigating into that. The teacher is like a Greek professor, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. I do not care about like Greek mythology in general. So that is like knocking this down for me. I just cannot care. Like, they talk about how mesmerizing his lectures are on like Greek theory, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not mesmerized. But yes, it is going very fast. I do think I'll be able to finish this today, so I thought I better check in before I get too far. Okay, it's a little bit later again, and I'm like 80 pages from the end, but I do just need to mention this before I get there, before I actually find out what happens in the end. I also don't think I actually mentioned what the perspective this is being told is, and it's basically a student at the school, like her aunt. So it seems like a really like irrelevant person to be telling the story, which is why I'm suspecting that it's not going to be like just based in the school. It's going to have something to do with our main character. Otherwise, I feel like this would have been better told from a different perspective, like from a student or something. So that's just kind of what I'm feeling, that some of the people that she knows that have been laid out are gonna connect to the story. You get what I'm saying? Otherwise, why is it told from her? Okay, yay. I have finished The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and not much has appeared to change since I started this, because according to Bookly, this only took me 3 hours and 23 minutes to read. So if you're looking for something fast, would recommend this. It definitely did not go poorly for me. This, on like the call pile rating scale, just barely got a 4-star. So like the lowest rating to get a 4-star is what this got. And when I finished it, it did feel more like a 3.5 to me. I thought it would come out as a high 3. It skimmed 4 stars. I will say I didn't exactly predict the ending, but I am finding a trend with Alex Michaelides that his stories are really gripping to me, and then the endings kind of just leave me like, okay, blah. Like I'm not super shocked. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, such a good ending, but it was fine. I do think this qualifies as dark academia, and I'm starting to think that's maybe like a genre that I don't gravitate towards, even though one of my favorite books ever is Catherine House, and that's definitely dark academia. This leaned more to me towards feeling like The Secret History, which I hate, than like the vibes of Catherine House though. I've seen so many people completely trashing this book, like 1-star ratings, and I don't really get that. I don't think it is outright bad, and I've heard so many people say that they think this is terrible and that they didn't have a good time through it, which I don't understand. Like I said, I read this so fast because it was really gripping, so whatever, to each their own. If you have any interest in this, I would recommend it. It's not a 5-star thing for me, but it was a good time today, fast, fun, and I'm excited to now do my second spin. So I didn't like go in and remove that book from the list, so if it comes up again, whoops. All right, spinning again. Okay. I landed on The Other Black Girl, which is actually another book of the month book, so I'm kind of getting through my book of the month books doing this. I don't really know what this is about. I think it's set in an office setting, and our main character is like the only black girl in the office, and then they hire another one, but not sure like if it's a mystery or really what this is. So I will jump into this and give an update once I've read like 100 pages or so what this book is actually about. Again, not one of the ones on my TBR for the month that I'm like the most excited for, but I put it on my TBR. Not bummed to be getting to it. Good morning. It is Sunday the 7th now, and I am just over 100 pages into The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris. I'm still confused on what this is really supposed to be, I guess. The book of the month version says it's contemporary fiction, but on Goodreads it's shelved as a thriller, so I really don't know. So far what is kind of going on is our main character is like an assistant to an editor at a publishing company, so she's not completely an editor, but that's the kind of work she's doing, and she is the only black girl at the office until they have just hired another black girl. And her and this new girl are getting along very well, like they're bonding, they're becoming friends, but it seems like they're kind of starting to get like pinned against each other, and that they are each other's biggest competition now in the workplace. So I'm not sure how that's gonna escalate, but I'm not sure that I'm enjoying it. It is kind of boring in my opinion. Like just not much is happening. It feels just kind of like a general fiction thing, and there's nothing specific like grabbing me. It's a lot of workplace shenanigans, I guess. So I'm going to work through this morning. Hopefully it'll get a little better. This is a little bit longer of a book. Like I said, for it already being kind of boring, it's like over 350 pages, so we'll see how it goes. After this clip, I need to start filming in a different spot because it's gonna look like I haven't moved, but it is just a little bit later and I'm about halfway through this now. And I think before I get too far into my day, I've made the decision that I'm going to spin again and get my final book for this vlog. I'm just feeling like this isn't something I should be like super pushing myself to read fast through, but I want to read a lot today. So I'm gonna get that final book and then probably alternate between those two books for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm definitely feeling in like the romance mood, and I know there's only like 2 things on my list that are like definitely the vibes that I'm looking for, and there's definitely at least 2 things left on the list that I think will also fall into the same category of this, where it's gonna be slower, like more of a boring slow pace. So hopefully we land on something that'll be like a different vibe than The Other Black Girl. All right, here I go for the spin. Okay, this isn't romance, but it's not something that I think will be boring. I landed on Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. which is this, and it's a fairly short thriller. All I really know about this is that I think this couple are going on like a weekend. They think that they won a weekend getaway, but one of them knows that they didn't like win this, and I think they planned it, and it's like a save my marriage type thing, but it's a thriller. So I'm gonna jump into this one today, and I'm not sure what I'll get farther into. I have been sprinting with some friends today, and I probably should have updated like one sprint ago, but I was in the bath. So I'm about 150 pages in to Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney now. I'm not sure how I'm enjoying it. It's just okay so far. They are like at this secluded place that they traveled to, which actually turned out to be a chapel, which churches are very creepy to me. And so they're there in a storm, there's no power, and for some reason these idiots think they should be exploring this church with no power in the middle of the night. I don't get it. Why do we do this? But there's actually 3 perspectives in this, which are kind of 4 actually, but the perspectives are the husband, the wife, and then there's like a groundskeeper, like housekeeper that doesn't live on the property that you're getting the perspective from, and you really don't know like who the villain is here. They all seem kind of suspicious, but also the couple brought their dog, and I swear to God, if something happens to this dog, 1 star. If this gets a 1-star rating, it's because something happened to the dog. It is getting much later in the day. It's like 4:30 now, and I'm gonna give an update on both of these books. I have been reading both of them still. The Other Black Girl, I'm still just really bored by. I do think that it is talking about important topics in the workplace, but just this whole book is like set in the office. I did go and read some reviews that say that basically the whole plot happens in the last 50 pages. So I'm like 80 pages from the end. Hopefully the ending will be at least semi-interesting. And then continuing in Rock, Paper, Scissors. Not sure why I'm showing you these. They literally look almost the same because I don't have dust jackets on them. But I just think the characters are making really stupid decisions. Like, it's like a horror movie when you know that the characters are like walking into something dumb instead of just like going to safety. That's what this feels like is happening. Alright, it is actually Monday night now. I stopped yesterday with like about an hour left in each of the books that I was currently reading, but I sat down tonight and finished The Other Black Girl, and I didn't like this book. I think this will, I haven't ran it through Cawpile yet, but I think this will land at like a 2-star for me. I did like the discussion of like race in the workplace, but this to me was just way too long in terms of the how much like workplace scenes we were getting. And then I didn't like the competitive mystery aspect of this like almost at all. I probably should have DNF'd this. I knew pretty early on that I wasn't enjoying the story. I was pretty bored, but I have seen some like decent reviews of this. Unfortunately, it just didn't work for me, so I finished this one. Like I said, probably a 2-star, but tomorrow night, hopefully I'll sit down and also finish Rock, Paper, Scissors. I only have probably about an hour left of that one as well, so until then. Good Wednesday morning. I'm sorry to be coming to you with my morning voice, but I did last night on Tuesday, like I said, sit down and finish Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Unfortunately, this is like a 3-star thriller for me. It was okay. I recently watched Katie Coulson review this, and I think I really agreed with her that the beginning like really had me going there, and then in the end it was just like twists for twists' sake, and while they made sense, it just didn't seem like realistic, or I just wasn't convinced. Like, it wasn't that fun in the end. So 3 stars for this one, which makes this whole thing in conclusion kind of shocking, because what I ended up spinning was The Maidens, The Other Black Girl, and Rock, Paper, Scissors, and what I would have predicted would have been my least favorite would have been The Maidens, and this ended up being my favorite of the stack with 4 stars. And then I gave The Other Black Girl 2 stars and Rock, Paper, Scissors 3 stars. I do think this was a fun way to kind of start my month and like get a start on my November TBR. Definitely looking at what I have left for the month is a little less overwhelming. And I did realize that all of these ended up being book of the month books, which they weren't all my book of the month picks. Like, I can't rate them on the app. My stepmom also gets book of the month, and then she like passes her books on to me also, so I end up with a lot. But it's nice to get through those as well. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I may do this again in December, the like randomize my TBR thing. I think, like I said, it was a pretty fun time. But thank you so much for spending some time with me this week, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.